Good morning, good afternoon. That's really matter. I've been telling you guys that the racist people are behind the anti-vaccine, and today I'm gonna show you that even black people in Africa support the racist people. They have been watching their videos and believing that the racist people are telling the truth. These people hate black people. You understand? And black people, like always choose the wrong party to join. Instead of choosing the party that will support them, they will choose the party that will screw them over. That's how the white racist people colonize Africa. That's how it happened. We choose the wrong party and we suffer for it. And right now we're going to choose for the wrong party again and we're going to suffer again. So right now I'm going to show you the video and I want you guys to listen to the video and then you see that these people are lying. So here we go.
This is a call to all we Africans out there to run for our dear lives because we can't be facing internal challenges due to our bad leaders and now imports external monsters that want to kill us, depopulate us, and make money off us. As you listen to this,
he said with a smile, it was very, very sinister. In fact, he said 700,000 people could be affected by his vaccine and that governments need to set up some kind of indemnification so that they're not held accountable for 700,000 people affected by the vaccine. He's admitting that.
1 in 10,000 side effect efforts. It's worth putting a lot of money behind and building that manufacturing in parallel with the safety and efficacy work, which is very difficult to do. Probably will take about 18 months before we can get to a significant level. So therapeutics could come a lot sooner. Things like manufactured antibodies or using the blood of recovered patients in order to help treat people who are just getting sick. Those, there's enough of them that in aggregate, I'd say it's very likely we'll have those interventions in the 4 to 6 month time frame. But how much that'll cut the death rate and these overloads, is still a bit uncertain. That comes quicker than the large-scale vaccine availability.
You're thinking 18 months, even with all the work that you've already done to this point and the planning that you are taking with lots of different potential vaccinations and building up for that now?
Yeah, so there's an approach called RNA vaccine that people like Moderna, CureVac, and others are using that in 2015, we'd identified that as very promising for pandemics and for other applications as well. And so if everything goes perfectly with the RNA approach, we could actually beat the 18 months. We don't want to create unrealistic expectations. The efficacy of vaccines in older people is always a huge challenge. It turns out the flu vaccine isn't that effective in elderly people. Most of the benefit comes from younger people not spreading it because they're vaccinated, and that benefits on a community basis the elderly. Here, we clearly need a vaccine that works in the upper age range because they're most at risk of that. And doing that so that you amp it up so it works in older people and yet you don't have side effects. If we have 1 in 10,000 side effects, that's way more, 700,000 people who will suffer from that. So really understanding the safety at gigantic scale across all age ranges, pregnant, male, female, undernourished, existing comorbidities, it's very, very hard. And that actual decision of, okay, let's go and give this vaccine to the entire world, governments will have to be involved because there will be some risk and indemnification needed before that can be decided on.
So after listening to the interview, I got a lot of information from it. He said about the immune system from the recovered people. I think it's plasma. It's like white. I think that is it. And then you have the vaccine. And then he also said that the government are the ones that will have to decide. Maybe they do a voting on the people, and the people will choose which one they will want to take. Maybe we'll take the plasma one. That's what I think. But I think there's another problem. A problem that people don't know understand is going to happen to them. And in the end, everybody will get the vaccine. The vaccine is this. I remember in 2000, yeah, I think 2019 when we came to Ghana. Okay. When you are at the airport and you don't have a yellow passport, they will give you a vaccine, malaria vaccine. So just think about it, what will happen. You come to Ghana, you don't have the vaccine. They will say, they will ask you, do you have the vaccine? You have the coronavirus vaccine. You said you don't have the coronavirus vaccine, but you have the plasma one. But in Ghana, the government gave everybody the vaccine. And they will tell you, if you don't have the vaccine, you can come in. So what are you going to do? Come in or step back and go home? You understand? Because they don't want you to infect their people. So I think in the end, people are going to choose for the vaccine, if you like it or not. If you don't like it, you will stay in your country. You will not travel. I think that is one to go. Right now, Bill Gates is telling you the risk of the vaccine. He's telling you the truth of the vaccine. So that if you're planning to take it or not, that you know that in some countries, you're not allowed to go. So I think it's for everybody to make up their mind. So you have from now to the time that they discover the vaccine, that if you want to take the vaccine or you don't want to take the vaccine, if you want to travel or you don't want to travel, you have to decide for yourself. And yeah, we will see what happened to the next vaccine.
All the projected deaths from COVID-19, whatever the number is, you can put 9 zeros at the end of it. You can say the 7 billion people, that's what their goal is. It's not going to be from COVID-19. It's not going to be from H1N1. It's not going to be from Zika. It's not going to be from any of these other issues. It's going to be from the damn vaccines.
Can you read in between the line? The word used by Bill Gates himself is that indemnify, that the federal government should indemnify them. That is, in case you want to sue the vaccine producers, the government will have to stand in place. That is, the vaccine producers will not be answerable to the death of about 700,000 or more people, because
he said side effect, not death. Clean your ears.
Projections can be lesser or higher. Do you want to really sacrifice the life of your children, African children?
So if you look at the chart right now, you can see that the people at risk are 20 to 80. So those people will get the vaccine. And then when you have like children with like asthma and other that kind of deadly diseases, those children will also get the vaccine because they are weak. So then they will get it. If they don't get it, they don't go outside. So that's what we will get. So in a sense, some kids, not all of them will get it. So if you are weak, sick child, then you can get it. That is what I think will happen. Not all the children will get the vaccine.
For this?
So that's why we're saying Africans, wake up. And mind you, this might interest you to know that the faces behind this coronavirus pandemic are being brought to the global screen. And they include Dr. Fauci of America, and we have Bill Gates, and we also have Barack Obama, right before the...
And China.
Yes, and China.
Because the transaction actually that took place was that...
What I found that they took the SHC014 strain of the coronavirus, the surface antigen component, and brought in the backbone from the SARS coronavirus, put them together, and then inserted HIV and MERS orthologs on top of it to make a more virulent, more detrimental virus.
Wow. Can you hear him? He's saying that they put in HIV virus and AIDS. Wow, they are cooking. Man, these people are liars, man. They're telling so much lies. It's too crazy to understand. People believe this nonsense. HIV, they put HIV in the virus. And all over the world, all the scientists didn't see that is a virus. Man, come on. This is not true, man. We should not believe this kind of nonsense. It's bullshit.
So it goes back to 2014. The U.S. government decided, based upon certain virologists at that time, saying that, look, there's no justification for this kind of research. There's a potential for it to cause harm, cause a pandemic. So there's no justification for us to do this type of research. So the government passed a moratorium in 2014. Fauci approved approved budgets to be monies to be sectioned for this type of research. So basically, and I'm getting really, every time I think about this, it gets me really flustered because I'm so angry that he basically broke the law. He more than broke the law. He created this entire cascade that we're seeing with the world shutdown was created by this initial aspect back in 2015. He broke the law. He went against government moratoriums. He took taxpayer money and he funded research that has now led to the COVID-19. In 2017, he was documented at Georgetown University saying that there will be a pandemic that this presidency will face, that this term will face.
There is no question that there will be a challenge. I would bring that perspective to the topic today is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID, will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with. So for those who think that infectious diseases is gone, there's so many people who've made foolhardy statements not knowing at the time that they made them. I usually show a quote from an old surgeon general or an old pundit in infectious disease. So I thought I'd pull this one out from Sir Macfarlane Burnet, who was actually a Nobel Prize winning immunologist who made the statement, as many did, to write about infectious diseases is almost to write of something that has passed into history. The most likely forecast about the future of infectious diseases is that it will be very dull, which is really kind of interesting coming from a semi-genius like Macfarlane Burnet. And I think what he did and the mistake that so many people have made is something that several of our panelists have already referred to. And that is a failure to look beyond our own borders in the issue of the globality of health issues, not only things that are there that will come here, but surprises that we have. So when I think about infectious diseases, I break it down into a few buckets. The established infectious diseases that we know, and when I say I know, we mean that you could reasonably predict today what the disease burden of morbidity and mortality is going to be next year. In my mind, that's the Tony definition of an established infectious disease. But there are also other issues that we're talking about now, are diseases that are brand new, that we've never seen them before, or much more common, diseases that reemerge. So let's take a very quick look at established infectious disease and show you what I mean. So there are diseases and disease burden, and these are projected every year, and they're almost always right. For example, lower respiratory infections, and these are deaths. There's going to be over 2.5 million deaths. There are about 1.6 to 1.8 million deaths of tuberculosis, hepatitis B and hepatitis C, diarrheal diseases. It is of note that I have HIV/AIDS here on an established infectious disease. When I was giving this lecture, and I'm going to get to it in a moment, it was an emerging infectious disease. And now after 35 years and 6 months, it is an established infectious diseases. So let's take a look at the burden, and then we'll quickly go on to the emerging. So by the last count of that article that came out in Lancet just this past year, if you look at the total of 56 million deaths worldwide each year, about 15% of them are infectious diseases. That used to be 27% when I first started giving this lecture. And what that tells us is some of the advances we've made in vaccinations and antibiotics and what have you. But if you look regionally, It is still the #1 cause of DALYs, which is disability-adjusted life years, which is death plus disability in the developing world in individuals from birth to 49 years old. So it still is a major problem. So it's out.
How did he know that in 2017 that something was going to happen in 2018, 19, or 2020? You can't predict the market from 3 days from today, what's going to happen. How did he know that there was going to be a pandemic? He stated the president of this.
You know, I have to stop the video here because he said something funny. And I want people to understand what he said, okay? Just think about it. He said, this doctor cannot tell us that in a few years, like in 2020, how did he know that in 2020 a virus will happen? Just think about it. This man is a doctor, so probably he been telling people, if you don't stop eating fat, if you don't stop eating sugar, if you drink too much alcohol, you will die in 6 months. How did he know that it will happen to you? Get it? It means that this guy is telling you that doctors are not trustful. Means that he's also a doctor. You understand? So if a doctor tell you you are going to die in 6 months, they are lying to you. That is what this guy is telling you. So we are going to listen.
In Wuhan. There's also another report that the NIH under the Obama administration in 2015 gave that.
In April 2020, reports started to circulate that the National Institutes of Health, NIH, had provided the Wuhan Institute of Virology a $3.7 million grant in 2015, while former U.S. President Obama was still in office. These reports were often accompanied by the evidence-free suggestion that the novel coronavirus that causes COVID-19 had escaped from this lab, and the insinuation that, since this lab reportedly received funding from the Obama administration, the pandemic was therefore Obama's fault. This claim received widespread attention on April 17 when a reporter from the conservative outlet Newsmax asked President Donald Trump about it during the White House press briefing. Newsmax reporter Emerald Robinson asked, "Thank you, Mr. President. U.S. intelligence is saying this week that the coronavirus likely came from a level 4 lab in Wuhan. There's also another report that the NIH under the Obama administration in 2015 gave that lab $3.7 million in a grant. Why would the U.S. give a grant like that to China?" Trump responded, "The Obama administration gave them a grant of $3.7 million. I've been hearing about that. And we've instructed that if any grants are going to that area, we're looking at it, literally about an hour ago, also early in the morning. We will end that grant very quickly. But it was granted quite a while ago. They were granted a substantial amount of money."
Did the Obama administration grant $3.7 million to the Wuhan Institute of Virology? Between 2014 and 2019, the EcoHealth Alliance was awarded a series of grants totaling approximately $3.7 million by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a division of the National Institutes of Health, to study the risk of future coronavirus (CoV) emergence from wildlife using in-depth field investigations across the human-wildlife interface in China. Only a portion of this money has been used to fund research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, however, and approximately $700,000 of this grant money was awarded under the Trump administration. Despite having a grain of truth at its core, the claim that the Obama administration gave a $3.7 million grant to the Wuhan Institute of Virology is therefore misleading at best. It first gained prominence on April 11, 2020, on the heels of an article published in the Daily Mail. The British tabloid claimed that it had obtained documents showing that coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology had been funded by a $3.7 million grant from the U.S. government. Documents obtained by the Mail on Sunday show the Wuhan Institute of Virology undertook coronavirus experiments on mammals captured more than 1,000 miles away in Yunnan, funded by a $3.7 million grant from the U.S. government. The Daily Mail did not provide links or screenshots to these documents. They did, however, write that this money funded a research paper published in November 2017 entitled, Discovery of a rich gene pool of bad SARS-related coronaviruses provides new insights into the origin of SARS coronavirus. This is the title of a genuine paper published by researchers from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It's also true that this paper was partially funded by money granted by the National Institutes of Health. However, when we followed up using the grant number listed in the funding section of the paper, NIAID-01I110964, we found that the NIH did not directly issue this series of grants to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The Department of Health and Human Services Tracking Accountability in Government Grants System, TAGS, shows that NIAID-01I110964 was awarded to the EcoHealth Alliance for Understanding the Risk of Bat Coronavirus Emergence. Between 2014 and 2019, this global environmental health nonprofit organization received a total of $3.7 million from NIH, while a portion of these grants funded research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. This lab did not receive all $3.7 million. Under award number NIAID-01I110964, NIH also funded studies produced by institutions in the United States, Australia, and Singapore, and the work involving the Wuhan Institute of Virology was an international collaboration with the New York-based EcoHealth Alliance. Furthermore, while these funds were originally appropriated by the NIH in 2014 during the Obama administration, the most recent payment, in 2019, was authorized by the Trump administration. The payments record in the above displayed image from the Department of Health and Human Services show that the EcoHealth Alliance filed non-competing continuation applications in 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. In 2019, however, the organization filed a renewal application, previously called a competing continuation. This renewal application was awarded by the NIH under Trump's administration.
Vaccination,
But what we are actually calling for is that we have our medical specialists here. They should rise up and ensure that whatever is getting into the bodies of our citizens, of our fellow Africans, is certified by them, not some foreign person that we don't know what theory they are cooking up.
And we should enhance our doctors. We have intelligent doctors. The other time, our Nigerian doctors, as in fist of Ebola from Nigeria. So let's use our doctors. Let's be innovative. Let's use African doctors.
There has been numerous cure, even for HIV, AIDS, and other stuff that are coming out of Africa, but they suppress it.
You know what funny about this is? That Donald Trump called Africa a shithole country. And these people support him. Donald Trump even said that the whites should colonize Africa again because we're not doing nothing. We're not produce anything for the world. We're just there. And these people support him. But for people that make sure that Africans are being helped, these people hate them. They hate Bill Gates. They hate Obama. Why? Why do they hate Bill Gates? And why do they hate Obama? And why did they hate the other guy? That guy. The medical guy. Why do they hate him? He's trying to prevent the virus. And these people say, no, we want the virus. They are talking about depopulation. But what is depopulation means? That you kill off the people. If you don't take the vaccine, you'll die. Look at 60,000 people have been dead right now. No, 60,000 people are dead in America, and like 300,000 people are dead all over the world. Is that not depopulation? That's depopulation. Okay? Instead of people staying at home, people are walking out in the streets because they want the world to be depopulation. In China, in South Korea they started with like a big 5,000 people infected, more than China. Remember that. South Korea had more victims, not victims, but infected people than China. And now South Korea have like 10,000, still 10,000, just so, and less people are dead. Can you believe it? They have contained the virus. China have contained 500 people were sick. They locked down the whole city, and right now they're recovering from it. The whole world was like, ha ha ha, why 500 people they locked down the country, they locked down the city? Why? It's so stupid. Before we know it, it's it's more than 1,000 in America. In America, it hit like 10,000 before they locked down the country. And right now, people are going to the shop, people are going to the beaches and get infected even more. Britain is another country. Last week, I think Saturday, they did a marathon with a lot of people. Those people are going to get infected. That is what happened in Italy and Spain. Those people went to a football stadium and all the people got infected. They went back home and infected everybody. So yes, these people, the same people that are saying that Obama and Bill Gates is trying to kill us, are the same people that are not following the rules and trying to kill us with the virus. They are the ones going around and infecting other people. So if you support these people, listen, in Africa, a lot of people don't have health care. If you get sick, you don't get paid. Right now that the lockdown is taking longer because people are not listening, but taking that you don't have food to eat and nobody give a fuck about you. These people, they have their own money. They have a YouTube channel and they're making a lot of money. So they don't care. They're just producing the nonsense and you people are just eating it. You understand? You are the one that have to work. If you don't work, don't get money. So I'm telling you guys, man, it's better to listen to the people, stay at home. You listen to the experts. You can go outside. There's nothing wrong with going outside, but you have to watch out that if you see somebody coming, you stop, you wait till the person pass, and then you go through. Okay, and a lot of people in Ghana right now, they are wearing a mask. They think that the mask is just protection. But the mask doesn't protect you because when you cover your face, because the virus can go into your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and your nose. Okay, so let's say you are wearing a mask, okay, and you go home and you take the mask off, or you are at work and you take the mask off, but you touch the mask instead of taking it from behind. You touch the mask, and then you use your hand to clean your eyes. What does that happen? If that happened, do you know what happened right now? The clothes have collected the virus. Okay, that is what people don't know. The clothes has collected the virus. When you touch your face, you automatically are going to infect yourself. So I think what Ghanaians have to do is that they have to wear glasses. If you're going to go crazy and wear the mask and the safe distance, wear glasses too, because that one will also protect you from a lot. That's why the doctors wear the whole thing. So I think the whole situation is that the mask in Ghana is going to make a lot of people think they are immortal. I'm immortal. And they're going to infect themselves more. Ghana and Africa is going to rise. The disease is going to rise. Going to rise more than even in other countries. It's going to rise. And Africans will see that stupidity is why we always get killed in the end. So I hope you like it, and I will see you later on. Later.